So how it works, you have a Node.js server that uses Socket.io so this is the central point. Each participant will exchange well-known message. What I mean is that it's not magic. Each participant has to know the protocol, which message can be received, what's the schema of the message, and what they can do to reply to response to the other participants and to communicate. So Flux is just relaying all the messages and broadcasting or replying to just one participant the message. So you have two models of kind of discussion about, with all the participants. The request response. So one participant would send a request to, so it will be broadcasted into all the participants. And maybe one of the other participants will reply with the response. Respond with the response. There is another kind of discussion. It's the broadcast. So in that case, we send a message and every participant will get the message. In the request response kind of communication, actually anyone can respond. So it means that if you, for instance, I say I want this file, any participants who has the file can just reply and send the file to the other participant. This is Google Chrome. I was running Eclipse Orion with Flux, connected it into a Flux, and you can get the WebSockets frames and messages. So as you can see, it's actually JSON that's transmitted into the wire. So in that example, we connect into the channel. We say that we are connecting, we're starting a live edit session, and we exchange messages saying what's the modification of the model that has been done, and we broadcast it into the Flux WebSocket channel, and everybody gets the information, update their editors. This is a diagram which shows you, the file system synchronization. So there is two Eclipse which will share the same file system. So the idea is to synchronize the file system pretty much like Dropbox. So as you can see, we send messages to say, for instance, the user one who is using Eclipse 1, we change a file, we modify a file. Eclipse 1, which has the Flux plugin, will send a message saying to all the participants that this file has changed. And the Flux Node.js server will broadcast the message to all the participants. So Eclipse 2 will receive the message. Eclipse 2 will then ask for the file because he wants the latest content of the file. And then Eclipse 1 will reply, here is the file. And then Eclipse 2 get the files, and the user 2 get the change in his file system. So this is an example of a message that's being exchanged in Flux. If you go to the Eclipse Flux GitHub pages, you will see that there is a lot of things to install to have your Eclipse Flux running. You need to install Node.js with NPM, RabbitMQ. It's Socket.io is installed with NPM, but still. And as you may know, I don't know if there's some people who have been playing with NPM and Node.js. but it never works at the first time. I mean, so if you're running on a version of Linux or you don't have the same version of NPM, sometimes it doesn't work because so it's a bit a nightmare. So you spend some time to set up it, and at the end of the day, you manage to get it work, but you will spend some time. So my idea, so just to show you the README, so install you have to install the Rabbit MQ, the Node.js server, blah 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 blah. So my idea, so for the first demo, is to run Flux into a Che Docker container. So actually, all the configuration of Flux would be already done by with a Docker file. So you are pretty sure that it's going to work. You just have to run the Docker file, and with Che, you will be able to share it with all the people you want to pair program with. So I'm going to start an Eclipse Che that is hosted by CloudFoundry. And I'm going to create a new project. And I'm going to create an empty application, a blank application. Eclipse con Flux. No. How do I do? How do I change the resolution? Okay, enter. So if I go to the run panel, I can create a new Docker file, Docker runner. We'll call it Flux microservice, and I'm going to use a Docker file. This one, if I can copy it. Save and save and run. Oops. Run. What? No. Oh. No. Okay. This is a live demo, so. I'm going to use another one that I've already created. It will be easier. So, but normally it should work. So this is the same one. I'm going to hit run, and it's starting to start the Docker container. I'm going back to my slide. So as you can see, it's a bit simple because everything is in the from the Docker image, Synix Flex, which looks like this. So As you can see, I'm installing with the Debian package manager, RabbitMQ, Node.js, NPM. I'm exposing the Flux ports, so 3000. I did a patch to Eclipse Flux because I couldn't make it work, so the patch is here. So I'm downloading the patch, and I'm applying the patch to the JavaScript. And then I start RabbitMQ and Flux. So normally, if I'm going back to this, it should be almost done. And if I do that, and that, I'm thinking. Sorry. So I still have to connect my Eclipse first because it contains my my project. So if I don't do that, the Orion editor won't see it. So I'm going to do it here. You won't see it right away, but it should be okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I will show you later. So normally you should be able to pre-program. Maybe I will show you later when it's done, or maybe no, I have a better idea. So, I will show you the this thing. It's better. Sorry with the computer issue. You won't be able to program actually, unless I can connect it. So in this demo, I will connect into. I will create a new project. I'm starting the Eclipse Flux on the Che Docker runner, and with Eclipse IDE, I connect the IDE into the Flux server, so giving the URL. So once I'm connected into the Flux server with Eclipse, I can open the Orion browser, or the Orion editor into the browser. And as you will see, I will be able to change the same file in real time. So let's move the windows and show the Eclipse. And so you have the Eclipse IDE, and you have Eclipse Orion. And on some typing, I will be able to see the change instantly in Orion. Okay. Let's see if it's better now. Okay. No. Not this one. So the second demo, it's actually the same one, but we are going to demonstrate an Eclipse Che extension that I have written. So the idea is to say when we run a Docker runner inside Eclipse Che, you will be able to connect into with Eclipse Flux. You will be able to connect automatically Eclipse Che editors to this Flux server. So if I'm going back to the demo, that is here. The idea is to be able to then just open an editor. It will detect automatically when you start that a Flux server is running inside the Docker container that is in this Eclipse Che, and it will automatically connect to Flux and send messages to Flux. So in that demo, when I type on Eclipse Che, it will automatically broadcast all the changes into the other editors. So if I type hello from Che, it automatically instantly broadcasts the messages. Okay, that's great. Yeah. Going back. So I'm going to show you a bit of Java code. I hope you will not be afraid. To build the Che extension, the first challenge was to be able to connect into the Flux server with WebSockets. The thing is, normally in WebSockets, you could be able to use the normal WebSocket objects in JavaScript. But in the Flux case, it's using Socket.io, which has to make a handshake that is not possible with the normal WebSocket object. So because Eclipse Che is written in a client side in Google Web Toolkit, we have to be able to call Socket.io JavaScript objects from Java. So from our Git Java code. So we, in this few lines, we are just importing the source of Socket.io, and we are injecting the Socket.io into the current JavaScript session. So what I can do then with GSNI and overlay is to call JavaScript method and then map them into Java objects. So Socket.io will be used. Socket.io overlay will be used as normal Java classes. So an example of an overlay, it's has to extend the JavaScript objects, and all the methods that you can use, you can just code a JavaScript method and so do the mapping this way. So this was the hardest part. Because after, once you can connect to Socket.io, and once you can use it, it's pretty easy then to use Flux and communicate with the other participant. So for instance here, I'm just getting Socket.io, connecting to the Flux URL, and sending the message. I want to join the channel, for instance. So all the message will be sent this way with the type of the message. So this is a message connect to channels, and a JSON contents with the content. So of course the content schema or structure depends on the type of message you send. But to connect to the Flux server, we need to know when and what is the URL of the server. In Eclipse Che, we have an event listener mechanism where you can listen to some events and add handlers. So this is done with the event bus service. You can add a handler. You specify which kind of events you are interested into, and you can then get notification, get notified, and run some code. In this case, I'm checking if any Flux server any Che Docker runner is running has been started. I'm checking the exposed port. So I just suppose that 3000 is normally a Flux. And then I connect into Flux, calling the method that has been displayed previously. To get messages, to listen to messages, I can call directly the method and listen to live resource change and get all the messages of all the participants saying that the message has been a file has been modified. And what I can do is then update the editors that are running. So here. So I get all the information and I'm updating the model, the document. Then if I modify locally in Che, I have to send the messages. So here again we have some events to first detect that an editor has been opened with a file. And for each the file, we need to add another handler. Each time you're typing, we would get notified and we will send a message into Flux. So this is what it is doing here. So I'm just getting all the information, creating my JSON file, and then I'm sending the message into the wire. Okay, so far we have a nice extension, but it won't work if, for instance, you open a new window, a new browser, and you connect into the same workspace in Che. So with the code I'm going to show you after, we can listen to messages that we can once we open the Eclipse Che into a browser, we can detect the running runners and do the same thing. So detect the ports and connect to Flux. So if in Che I copy paste the URL and I paste it into another browser, or if someone else is in the cloud is just connecting to the workspace, the Che workspace, it will detect that a runner is running, that is Flux, and automatically all the editors of Che will connect into the Flux microservice and the Flux channels, and will be then able to pair program. Hello. It works. So this is the code that once you open Che, connect back, get the running runners, and connect to it if it's a Che, if it's a Flux server, a microservice. And that's it. We still have some improvement for the Che extensions, maybe for the next, maybe for next year. The first thing is in Che extension, I share the same file system, so actually I'm cheating. But there is a message in Flux to say, I'm starting a new live session. Can someone give me the current content of the file that is being edited? And then, so this is the message, a message that can be sent back to us, and then we'll be able to get the file that is being edited at the time. What would be good is to do like in Google Docs, so showing the cursor of each participant when we are doing pair programming. It's sometimes useful. It would be a bit harder, but maybe adding when you do a control space and we have the completion, showing what's all the participants are doing instantly. We can add a chat extension as well. But the thing I'm going to do right away after the conference is in the GitHub project, add the contribute button so you can contribute to this project, test it, and make it better. Okay, don't forget to evaluate the session. Don't forget that I had an issue with my screen. I'm very sorry. And if you have any question, it's now. Yes. It's when you're doing a remote. You're working remotely, for instance. I used to work at home, and sometimes I need to work on the same file with another person and discuss about what could be the changes on the file. So it's pair programming, but remotely. So that's the idea. So the question was, what was the goal of doing this kind of synchronization? Any other questions? Okay. Yeah. For the demo, I will show you on CloudFoundry booth. So if you want to see the live demo, the real live demo, just join us and we will have fun. See you. Thank you.